Alright, so there's kind of a lot of Fire Emblem games out there that I wouldn't mind covering on this channel eventually, honestly. But before that, I would feel a lot better about myself if we first wrapped up Awakening and Three Houses. Now, Awakening, we actually did beat the game in. Like, it's conquered. We beat it in Lunatic Plus Classic, but I wanted to cover, like, everything, the DLC included. And last time I hopped into this game, it was for charity, and I was trying out Apotheosis, and I failed it. And I don't feel good about moving on to, like, the next thing until the next game that we want to cover until we get that properly wrapped up. And I know that there's also a lot of other DLC content. I also missed, like, some other paralogs down here and stuff, it looks like. Is kind of the thing that I should probably do. I could do those, like, right now, I guess, or something. I hear that the Future Past is supposed to be really good in terms of DLC stuff, and I also wouldn't mind covering the other DLC things. Our freaking army is incredibly strong, but, like, apparently not strong enough for Apotheosis. What is this paralog? Is that the one that recruits, like, Tiki or something? But yeah, I wouldn't mind recruiting, like, the rest of the units that I can. Apparently, once you've essentially beaten the game, there's supposed to be, like, spot pass missions that unlock as well, that give you some additional characters. I might have to do some research if that's, like, an option for me with, you know, the format that I'm doing this in. Maybe. Because I totally would record my own 3DS, but, you know, 3DS capture cards don't really get made anymore, and they're stupidly expensive. And I can play in HD like this, so continuing on with the emulated adventure and stuff. Yeah, we could maybe just ham out these paralogs, because yeah, like I said, I would very much like to move on to some other games, but okay, I'm remembering what my buttons here are and stuff. Does this one still go to 3DS? Okay, it does, good. Yeah, it's a lot of crossroads.
No.
I'm so used to Three Houses at this point, like, with all the characters reading stuff out themselves. It's so weird coming back to Awakening and it's just like, oh, single words being said that are voice acted, and I read out the stuff myself, and it's so strange. Also, Three Houses is in a much weirder place because I stopped, like, mid-playthrough there. Like, at least Fire Emblem Awakening was sort of wrapped up, but there was just, like, some additional stuff I wanted to do that I'm doing now out of nowhere. It was not planned at all, but, like, I just felt like hopping into a different game, and here we are. And I'm just gonna read this out, freaking blast. It seems all hope is lost. Whatever has happened, I was gonna make a freaking joke about something, I don't even know. Still, hold fast, I'll treat your wounds. It's too late. I shitted too hard. No, that's a obscure reference right there, I'm sorry. What's happened here?
Hail, traveler!
Nothing but death ahead awaits? Travelers, I'd turn back if I were you. Whatever your business here, we'll have to wait. Should I just sweep this entire map with, like, one unit, considering we have that in our power to do? Just tell us what happened. Taco Bell. It set up a new location, and everybody ate there. Bandits have blocked the road ahead. They're demanding a king's ransom and illicit tolls for all who wish to pass. They think to profiteer on... Dang it! They think to profiteer on refugees? Despicable. Our caravan's livelihood is at stake. We'll do no business in this country now.
My lord.
The flow of goods must be secured, my lord, or the people are likely to starve.
Right.
And we'll secure it. You and your caravan can wait here. We'll let you know when it's safe. Alrighty, I need to remember, like, my 3DS hotkeys and stuff. And Awakening indeed lands here. I was not planning on playing Awakening tonight. I was planning on continuing with, like, the rest of the paralogs in Awakening and its DLC at some point. I just didn't know when that was gonna be. But I was playing some Dead by Daylight earlier this stream, and then I was like, I really don't feel like playing this anymore, but I don't feel like playing any of my other, like, regular games that I stream either right now. So, like, here we are, I guess. Who do I want to bring to, like, wreck everything? Because we can probably do that. We're kind of at that strength. I just want to ham out the yeah, we can just... I mean, don't I get, like, some reward if I keep Anna safe? Should I bring a whole bunch of units purely for that? Well, I mean, let's bring some of my broken parties. Oh yeah, I'm a freaking sorcerer class and stuff. Alright, and you guys are with Inigo and Owain. But yeah, I am definitely gonna have to do a lot more training before I can think about taking on Apotheosis again, considering what happened last time. So, I don't even know. I don't even know. I'm just gonna freaking do this. This paralog is a bit of a bastard if you do it when it first comes up. Well, here we are after having beaten freaking Lunatic Plus Classic, so I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm just gonna, like, save and start. Yeah, there's the Apotheosis that I started before. My goodness.
Darling.
I don't want to read out these guys, honestly. But maybe I will anyway. Yes, Victor.
See?
I dare say we've come across a village, Vincent.
Right.
And what a thriving little hamlet it is, Victor. Indeed. I think it'll make for a fine bit of pillaging, Vincent. It most certainly will, Victor.
Darling.
Well then, I believe it's my turn to do the honors, isn't it? I completely forgot about these guys. I do believe it is, Victor. Oh, but try not to kill them all this time, Tends to cut into profits. I was just debating about doing an immediate joke voice. I still am thinking about it, but whatever. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm afraid this village is closed. Well, aren't you a fetching young thing? And fetching young things fetch good coin. In fact, the gold you net from the slavers will build Vincent a divine home. Careful, love. We traders are known to slash more than prices. Oh, the freaking marketing puns and whatnot. Welp. So, get to that village and stuff.
Wait.
A village is in danger. One of us must ride ahead and warn them of what's coming. Yeah, I already have exactly the person in mind for that, so, like, don't even worry about it and stuff. So, like, do I have combat animations on? I don't. Hey, look, BS skills, like Vantage Plus. Not like it matters, because we're freaking OP as heck. So let's just go ahead and go here, and then, like, you know, I still have a lot of equipment that was supposed to be used for Apotheosis, but then Apotheosis wound up being freaking really hard and stuff. Do I need to route the enemy? Do I have to take them all out or just reach the village? Okay, I have to take them all out, in which case we are going to do exactly that, I guess. Okay, well, here comes longbow shenanigans and stuff. So, I mean, have fun. Have fun. But yeah, the Bandit Brothers is the weirdest Fire Emblem archetype. It really is, isn't it? I completely forgot they were even a thing that existed in this game, honestly. Unbelievable. Where's... Did I not bring in Sumiya? I mean, it's not like my unit needs her, but could have been handy. I thought the numbers seemed a bit strange. Whatever. Whatever, I guess. Well, time to die, I guess. So, I mean, this is what happens when you have 70 hours in a file, I guess. Or something. This is what happens, huh? You have Pavi's Plus, who cares? My goodness. But the thing about Awakening on Lunatic Plus Classic is most of the time, like for most levels, unless you're just horrendously OP like I am in this case, then you still have to be careful, because it's Lunatic Plus Classic, and I don't need her to survive, do I? Literally, first turn. There's no way I could get over there in one turn. There's just no way. It's because this freaking archer shot her with Luna Plus. And then she came and got hit by this Hawkeye Silver Axe dude. But I don't remember if it was Path of Radiance or Radiant Dawn, but you know, one of those games of Bandit Brothers and in Pain and Agony. Oh. Wacky. So it's like a recurring thing in the Fire Emblem games? It's not just this one? I don't think I need her to survive. I know that there is a paralog where we recruit her. I think it's paralog 4, and this is 2 where we get introduced to her in the first place and stuff. I'm fairly certain. I don't know for sure, but I mean, welp. Time to die. And then, time to die. And then, okay. And then, time to die. So, yeah, we could probably just ham out these paralogs and stuff. Oh no, Vantage Plus. Darn. Sure hope he doesn't get me with Vantage Plus or something. Alright, is this upper area cleared out now? Nope, because they attack from close range. Not like Severa cares on the next turn anyway. So, yeah. Welcome to going back to old levels in Fire Emblem Awakening in a nutshell. Apart from freaking, you know, Anna dying. Literally turn 1. Considering Lunatic Plus Classic things. Considering those things and stuff. What? Can't go super far across there, huh? Welp. Welp. Let's just get the last couple stragglers I got. Oh, wait a second. What have we here? What have we here? That peasant woman who's fighting to protect the villagers, saying she died on turn 1 because it's Lunatic plus classic. I kind of warmth is more than welcome in these cold lands. Yeah, use this to heal her if she's hurt. She freaking died immediately. Like, turn 1. There's literally nothing I can do with that unless I use the freaking warp or rescue stabs or whatever the heck, like an absolute madman. Now they're worse than Binding Blades solely because they show up on one of the worst Fire Emblem chapters of all time. Ew. And one of these days, I do plan on getting to the freaking Game Boy Advance Fire Emblem games. But I might arena abuse. I may just do that, honestly. I might potentially do some arena abuse. I more so want to cover those ones for, like, story and stuff.
Thank you.
1,000 thanks, good sir. I'd feared our goods would spoil before reaching the market. I'm certain the townsfolk will be happier for the fresh food as well.
Oh.
It seems you've done a kindness to my fellow merchants. I'm back alive now, by the way. Name's Anna. Some folks like to call me the secret seller. I also run the freaking BS map Apotheosis. Next time we meet, I'll be sure to cut you an extra special deal. Secret seller? It sounds familiar. It's almost like you ran Apotheosis, that OP freaking map that kicked my ass. I'd tell you more, but then it wouldn't be much of a secret now, would it? Until next time, happy shopping. May the gods of the open road keep you. Nice, nice. I was debating about not saving over that just in case, you know, that did turn out to be the one that we recruit Anna in. Heck, maybe it even is, but I swear it's freaking this one. I'm fairly certain. I'm pretty sure. I should probably not save before some of these just to be safe so I don't accidentally screw myself out of losing a unit because of Lunatic Plus things. That would suck. Imagine my file that's like near perfected up to this point get screwed over due to that. My goodness. I also need to see if I can get the spot pass missions somehow.
My lord.
My lord, look. Prison. There's a village just ahead. Come on. Well, this is a pretty basic plot. Help, help! Let me in! Let me in! The dead walk the earth! If you've any kindness and you open the gates. We're from Woodham, up the road. You know us, we give you wood and ham. Please, open the... Gods, no. No, they're here.
Right.
Townsfolk of this village are renowned for their hospitality and their love of wood and ham. How could they turn away refugees fearing for their lives who are also supplying them with wood and ham? Let's worry about saving those lives first. We can ask questions later, such as 2 trains are traveling at each other at 30 meters per second and 20 meters per second from 500 meters apart. How long until the trains meet? The kind of big questions that we need to ask. Oh yeah! Because in grinding off camera, because of a lot of grinding off camera since the last time we played this, like I haven't grinded off camera in a while, but just in general, this is the last time I played this on stream, apart from Apotheosis, like as part of the series. I always never wanted to show any support conversations, like off camera, because that counts as like progress and stuff, so like, I have a lot of support conversations I can kind of do. So maybe I should like show those after this map or something. But yeah, imagine if you will, a desert map where you have to protect a super weak unit to get the bonus chapter, and by extension the true ending, and on very specific tiles. There are really good items. I'm also pretty sure getting the bonus chapter requires you to be the main chapter in like 15 turns. Oh, doesn't that sound fun, huh? Wait. Is there anybody that's like a one-off kind of thing? I guess it's just gonna be me, whatever. So we have to route the enemy, huh? Okay. Wait, aren't there gonna be like merchants that appear down here that we have to protect? Oh no, they're right here. Or villagers. Whatever the heck. But yeah, you're busy looking up a new mic for your PC and went from TBD to this. Yeah, welcome back, Hawks. Yeah, I was not planning on streaming this today, but like here we are now. Because reasons and stuff, and I felt like doing something different and strange, and here we are. And I haven't played this since the charity stream several months ago where I failed at Apotheosis. But let's cover the rest of what this game has to offer apart from Apotheosis, and then eventually down the line, maybe I'll be strong enough for Apotheosis again. Hopefully. I thought there might be a cutscene going into it, but there wasn't. Also, I apparently have a Twitch notification over here that I'm curious to see. Oh, it's just an expired sub, apparently. I was like, what happened? Why is Twitch giving me a notification? Alright, who all needs to pair with freaking who and stuff? I mean, It's time to break the game again. I mean, time for the entire game to be broken in half. Well, let's just go ahead and good old versus Knight, as one does in stuff. But yeah, also, this is Binding Blade, so it's infinitely worse because Binding Blade hit rates are terrible. I have to deal with Roy being pathetically weak as usual. Huh. I've never actually played Binding Blade before. I've wanted to for a long time. I have played Fire Emblem 7, though, the Blazing Sword. And once I do cover, like, the Game Boy Advance games on stream, I wonder if I should do Binding Blade and then Blazing Sword, because Binding Blade, like, it's the game that came out first, but in terms of, like, the story that happens, Blazing Sword is the prequel to Binding Blade. So if I went in, like, the order of the story, it would be Blazing Sword and then Binding Blade. But the order that they were released is Binding Blade, and then Blazing Sword is the prequel to it. And it sounds like there was probably a lot of gameplay changes and advancements in that case. So maybe it would be better to do Binding Blade and then Blazing Sword first once I do that? I don't know. What's your professional Fire Emblem opinion on the matter, Lancer? What do you think, maybe? Wait. Oh, if you double attack, you're gonna be using that spear. That's annoying. Darn. I'm used to freaking getting ready for Apotheosis and stuff. I should probably give you some crap items again. Shepherds are always welcome here. Please take this with you. You got a blessed bow. It restores 10 HP every turn. Now I'm gonna close the gates to you. Are there any other villages out here? No, it doesn't look like. I'm gonna protect these villagers because there's like some sort of a reward if you protect them all. I don't remember what it is, but it's something. It's something or other. Your defenses do not matter to freaking Owain. At all. Is the thing. Well, time to die. Everybody dies. Let's go on the glowy tile and see what it is anyway. It is... Oh, useless. Is what it is. It's useless. Great. Well, we can now murderize all of these dudos. Wait, no we can't. Yarn doesn't have the thing. Doesn't have freaking Gale Force. Super OP in this game. Like, one of these days I'd also very much like to get to Fire Emblem Fates, mostly because of the gameplay of that game. And my builds can be, like, so much more impactful and stuff. Like, in Fire Emblem Fates, it's very, very easy to break the game. Like, especially on the actual 3DS version when you go online and visit other people's castles. Because you can buy skills that other people have on, like, their units onto your own characters, essentially. Which means you can even give them, like, skills that they normally wouldn't be able to get. Essentially, purely because the game still lets you buy them off of these other players and stuff. Like, if somebody hacks on a skill, then those hacked skills just freaking spread like a virus across the online of Fire Emblem Fates. As well, you can buy skills off of your own units from other save files. So, for example, the children mechanic in that game, the two most OP skills in that game come from your unit, and you can, in theory, get that onto any child, and since you can pass it from one save file to another, you can literally just have save files purely for getting skills onto other units and continuously just resetting them back to, like, before you paired off your avatar, and use that to get, like, the most OP skills on your allies. As well, freaking skills like Ether, you can literally get through DLC and then give to literally anybody in the game. So, if I did Fire Emblem Fates, Lunatic Classic. Lunatic Plus isn't a thing in that game, thankfully. I would have the restriction be, like, no buying skills, and when it comes to DLC skills that I can get with, like, items like that, I have a limit of 1 use for each of them. Limit of 1 max of each DLC class, and limit of 1 max of each DLC skill-giving item, I think is the restriction that I would give to myself if I did that, so that the entire game doesn't, like, break in half. And then that way it's actually, like, fascinating to come up with, like, different builds and stuff, and actually, you know, trying to make pairs purely based on how they can, like, pass down skills and stuff, you know? So I know I have a couple spreadsheets that I made like a year ago in case I ever streamed Fire Emblem Fates. I think I have a spreadsheet made for Birthright and Conquest, but I never made one for Revelations, so that's one that I have to, like, come up with at some point or something. I'm not 100% certain. But I know I have, like, some spreadsheets around or something. So, like, if I ever stream Fates one day, That's something that I can actually be passionate about making builds in. Because it's not like this game where it's like, okay, everybody needs Limit Breaker. So now they have one less skill slot. Because now they've got 4 skill slots. Because you have to fill one with Limit Breaker if you want to be strong. Anybody who has access to Arms Thrift better use it because it's so OP. So that you're now stuck with like 3 skill slots that are able for you to customize. Oh, and Gale Force is another one of those ones that's so OP where if it's an option, you absolutely have to put it on. So a lot of characters are stuck with like 2 skill slots that are still left to customize for like anything else. So like I don't get really all that passionate at all about making builds in say Fire Emblem Awakening, just because there's like so much stuff that's so good that you basically have to run it if you want to make your units as good as can be. Whereas in Fates there's not as much of that, and the stuff that there is like that, if I go in with the restrictions that I described, then I'd have to like actually, you know, strategize how exactly I'm gonna be giving that around to my units and stuff, is the thing. So like, you know, so I'd be like much more passionate about making builds in that game than this game, where it's just like, yep, just throw on all the OP stuff and bam, you have a build. Well, 3 turns, cool.
Thank you.
I've not the words to thank you, nor the treasure to pay you. But here, take this. It's a $15 gift card to Applebee's. Didn't think people like you still existed. I'll never forget this. You suppose the village will continue to bar its gates to refugees?
Right.
As long as they view the Risen as someone else's problem, then yes.
Ah.
They claim to love peace. Yet the uneasy peace I found behind a barricade is nothing I'd want. Peace begins when the fighting is over and the barricades come down and Harmonia continues playing Fire Emblem Awakening after like so many months. And it's so weird to come back to it out of the blue, and anybody who's like gotten into the stream in probably the past year is gonna have no idea what's going on right now. I pray that they can see the truth of that before it's too late. Got a Seraph robe. I got a log! They really do give wood and ham! That's hilarious! Oh my goodness. But yeah, again, I figured I'd come back to this at some point, and I guess at some point just randomly turned out to be today because screw it. Well, there goes a whole bunch of monsters and stuff. And a whole bunch of new stuff. Did the day just like roll over by the in-game clock or something? Like what happened there? Hello, Electric Legend. Hope things are going swell today. But there's a joke and a half. My, oh my. But yeah, we have Dogi on the back couch over here. I don't really need the iron bow. But yeah, but say Blazing Sword first because there's this certain chapter of Blazing Sword that hits a lot harder once you play Binding Blade. Wait, what? There's a certain chapter of Blazing Sword that hits a lot harder once you play Binding Blade. So I assume that was meant to be the other way around then, Lancer. Because you say Blazing Sword first, preferably. But then you say that there's a certain chapter in Blazing Sword that's a lot better if Binding Blade is first. So did you mean to say Binding Blade first? And then Blazing Sword if I go and do those later. But yeah, Platinum Poster and Gen 4 plushies, dude. You know, the interesting thing about this Platinum Poster is it's not even English. It's actually a German one. Pokemon Platin Edition. So it doesn't even say Platinum on it. It's actually that, because I got it from a magazine in Germany while I was there around the time that Platinum came out, actually. So like a very long time ago when I was spending some time in Germany. I have a few German Pokemon posters around here. There's a couple here and there. There's not as many that are like as clearly visible with the camera and such. But yeah, the room is definitely very, very decorated here, to say the least. Is the thing. Also, oh, barracks. Okay, yeah, because I haven't exactly hopped into this game in a while, so there's gonna be a bunch of stuff here. But yeah, have you ever tried FE6, try Project Ember? It's relatively new hack that overhauls pretty much everything, including portraits, weapons, stats, growths, etc. Huh. So it's just meant to, like, really flush out the Binding Blade in that case? Is what it's meant to be? Because that sounds very intriguing, if that's the case. Like, I know for sure I'd have to look into English translated versions and such. Speaking of Game Boy Advance games that I might look into English translated versions of down the line, maybe one day I'll play Mother 3, because I hear that's, like, really good and stuff. But yeah, let me guess, Guy is for one of the children units? Or something here, who is here? Looks like he's a hero right now. I have no idea. I haven't booted this up in a while. We initially started playing Lunatic Plus Classic for charity events, and managed to beat it during said events and stuff. Oh yeah, I believe so. I believe that is indeed the case. Let's see here, improve their relationship and stuff. So we did manage to beat the game, but I do want to conquer Apotheosis at some point. And I attempted it for like 3 hours once, and it kicked my ass despite having like a lot of maxed out stats. Like I could get better weapons and stuff, I guess. But yeah, love paired guys with Noe just fits really well. It really does. At least I'm fairly certain I did. I mean, I can double check, but it's been a while since I booted this up. Yep, there we go. It's been a while since I've hopped into this because I usually take like big breaks between it, because usually I'd only do like crazy challenging stuff on it during charity events and stuff, like attempting Apotheosis. But it's like, hey, I wouldn't mind doing all the other stuff, like all the other DLC, for example. Like, there's a bunch that I've gone into like once or twice here purely for grinding and stuff. There's a lot that I'd like to do just for the sake of covering it and do like the rest of the pair logs. And I'm gonna have to look up how to get the Xena logs on this kind of format. This is my pooper. But yeah. It can be played in either order, but there's a certain character who shows between Chapter 77 and Blazing Sword who becomes a really big deal in Binding Blade. Try very hard not to spoil anything. Alrighty. Yeah, I might, once we do the Game Boy Advance ones, maybe I'll just wind up doing them like in order of like 6, 7, 8. Maybe. There's like so many Fire Emblem games I want to cover on this channel, but we gotta wrap up Awakening and then freaking, you know, the thing first. 3 Houses. I don't know why I just called it the thing. Oh yeah, also, because of like all the off-camera grinding that happened before Apotheosis stuff, there's a lot of support conversations that I can see that I guess I'll do. Normally I'd like, you know, voice out everything. I'm just gonna like keep talking and like progress it kind of normally in case anybody down the line actually does want to read stuff here and things. I wish there was an auto advance feature that I could go like,
no.
Is the thing. But yeah, spent so much time grinding for your Lunatic Plus run. Yep. That's basically what happened here. Probably most of the playtime throughout this playthrough was off-camera grinding. And I mean, the first 4 chapters is where Lunatic Plus is like the hardest, because that's before you can grind and such. And I mean, I got really, really lucky with chapter 2 managing to beat it in half an hour. Like, I still can't believe that. Like, I got off so lucky. I thought that was, oh, if I just hold down A? Well, I don't want it to skip through too fast. I mean, okay, unfortunito.
What?
Doesn't seem to be the case. I don't want to like skip through super fast just in case, you know, there's people who do want to read and stuff. But yeah, the first time I ever did Lunatic Plus, way before I was a streamer, it took me like 2 months to get past like the first 4 chapters on and off, mostly because of chapter 2. A couple times I reset the game from the beginning just to like grind for better stats before chapter 2. But then when I did it on stream, I got like so lucky and did chapter 2 in like half an hour. And I was repeatedly saying on stream, this is not normally how this chapter goes at all. Is a thing. You're right though, glad they added that in 3 Houses. Yeah, I mean, the reason that it's a thing in 3 Houses is also because there's like general voice acting and stuff. Very excited for that Sacred Stones though, because you love that game's general feel. It's very dark for an E-rated game. Okay, when I was... After Fire Emblem Awakening first came out, like maybe a few months after it first came out, I had a friend of mine tell me, oh, you should play Fire Emblem Awakening, like, or you should get into the Fire Emblem series. It seems like a series that you'd really like. Little did I know, it did turn out to be something that I'd really like. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll get a feel for what Fire Emblem was like first before I go and buy something, because, you know, this was 8 years ago? It's probably closer to 7, but a long time ago. It's not like nowadays where, you know, as an adult I can work and make money and stuff. Like, I've only got so much allowance as a kiddo, and it's like, okay, before I pick up something that I'm not even 100% certain I'm gonna like, maybe I should try out something similar. And back when I was in junior high, I used to emulate games on my phone on like a Game Boy Advance emulator. So I was like, oh, let's hop into Fire Emblem here. And I thought I was playing the first one when I played Fire Emblem 7 because, you know, it was the first localized one. It was just called Fire Emblem.
Really?
And I was literally under the impression it was the first Fire Emblem game for most of my playthrough, which was interesting. And yeah, the emulation all the time. Yeah, it's freaking, I loved playing the freaking Game Boy Advance Fire Emblem games on my phone. Got world record for a game when running emulator. Nice. Was that a Fire Emblem one by chance or a completely different one? But yeah, and I can agree with the thing about Majora's Mask being freaking wacky. Another game that I'm gonna cover on this channel eventually, but I don't know when. So I played through Fire Emblem 7, and it was my first time ever playing a game like that.
Damn you.
And I did get to the final boss, but I literally had to restart the entire game from the beginning because I wasn't high enough level to beat the final boss, even with countless save states. Like, I just couldn't do it because my EXP was distributed across too many units. So I had to play through the entire game a second time, and I had to freaking arena abuse, and then I finally got to beat the game. But regardless, I still freaking love the game. Like, it was brutally hard for, like, my first time hopping into one of these things, because it was my first time ever playing a Fire Emblem game, and I was in junior high and stuff. But I freaking loved that game, was the thing. But yeah, it's called Nicktoons Battle for Volcano Island, Basic SpongeBob Dive Fed Fairly Odd Parents in one game. I might have played it before, or I might have played like some other Nicktoons game. There was something I played on like a Wii once. The thing you don't like about Fire Emblem 7 is that there's a 10 chapter long unskippable tutorial Lynn's whole section. At least it has like some story stuff. At least it has its own like character arc and stuff, but like yeah, basically. I mean, and even after that, I still struggled by the final boss because, you know, classic Fire Emblem shenanigans. But I did eventually beat it. But then when it comes to Sacred Stones, I started trying to get into that. And the thing about emulators, especially on phones, is they are constantly taken down. And I don't know if I just like forgot my method to like transfer my save file whenever I'd have to like replace the emulator or something, but there was some sort of a complication. I got through just past the halfway point of Sacred Stones probably like 3 or 4 times and needing to start from the beginning over and over again because of like mobile emulator issues. And like, my goodness. So I've never beaten Sacred Stones before. I don't know how it ends. I really, really like it. I think it's a very fascinating game because the way that the whole thing is structured is it very much feels like a modern or closer to modern Fire Emblem game, except, you know, back then when there wasn't that kind of thing. It felt kind of like a structure of like Awakening or Echoes or something like that with its world map and ability to go and grind. Like it felt like a freaking modern Fire Emblem game, but as, you know, a closer to classic kind of one. It was very interesting in that way. But it was definitely very much ahead of its time, for sure. And yeah, I can see the gameplay not being super interesting in the beginning of Fire Emblem 7 and such. But yeah, so
No hard
I've seen the first half of Sacred Stones like 3 or 4 times, and eventually I just stopped trying to like emulate it and get through it because I got so tired of seeing like the first half over and over and over again, especially because I kept taking extra time to like arena abuse and stuff like that like I did in 7. So like, once we eventually get to that, I will be going into like the second half of Sacred Stones blind, but like, I have a very, very strange relationship with Sacred Stones, to say the least. I've had very interesting experiences with Sacred Stones, but Sacred Stones is one of those ones that I can see myself going into with like a crazy plan ahead of time for like the builds I'm gonna make for everybody, kind of like I do with like Awakening or Fates and stuff like that. I mean, I'd still have an idea, something like that for, you know, for things like 6 or 7, but, you know, you can't grind in those games. It just goes like one chapter to another. But Sacred Stones, being ahead of its time and stuff and such, I can definitely see myself planning out builds for that kind of thing. What was your reaction to the Darley scene? What, is that the next paralogue here? Or is that going to be something that's in, like, one of the Game Boy Advance games? Either Sacred Stones or 6 or 7 or something like that. So the order that we're probably going to go in terms of, like, covering Fire Emblem games on this channel is probably going to be finish off Awakening and 3 Houses Golden Deer. I don't even know if I'm ever going to do the freaking 4th route of, like, Black Eagle's Edelgard route or Empire route. The one route that I haven't even started at all. But yeah, I hope you have a good night, Anima. Appreciate you stopping by and hanging out. I need to finish off my 3rd playthrough of 3 Houses at some point. And I don't know if I'm ever going to do a 4th. Maybe I'll do a challenge run at some point if I'm feeling spicy. But at this point, I have about 200... I think we're at 226 episodes of 3 Houses on YouTube, each of which average an hour. So, like, I'm kind of very tired of playing 3 Houses, and I'd very much like to just finish off Golden Deer and be like, yep, I'm done, unless I really want to do the Empire route one day. Our freaking That's a Sacred Sword, generally one of the most messed up moments in the entire series. Generally shocked that it was unchanged in English. Huh. Okay, something to look forward to then.
Wow.
But yeah, so the general path that we're gonna have for, like, playing Fire Emblem games is gonna be finish off Awakening in 3 houses. And then we'll probably do the 3 routes of Fates all on Lunatic Classic. I definitely... Part of me is really, really, really excited for freaking Lunatic Classic Conquest. Until at least, like, the last few chapters. There's... I think my least favorite chapter in the entire game is one where there's a boss right in the center of the map where you need to go around, like, all the way around to get to him. And he has, like, a freaking crazy debuff staff that's basically like a death sentence to any one of your YouTubes because it debuffs them so much.
Just do it. I believe in you. Okay, bye now.
I appreciate the 7 bits there, Anima, for Darkrai to munch on in the jar over there.
What?
Appreciate that, and hope you have a good night. Yeah, I'll pursue my dreams of covering more and more of the freaking Fire Emblem series bit by bit. So yeah, 3 houses and Awakening finished off. Then we'll do freaking Fates on all of its hardest difficulties. Owen's line there calling his accent Smoosher +1, isn't it great? I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to the text because I'm like rambling on about things. Then we'll do Echoes on Hard Classic. I love how they've taken away like a difficulty setting with each one of the 3DS games. And then from there, we'd probably do the Game Boy Advance titles. And then if we wanted to do something from... Actually, is there an order to which I can do things that potentially factors in Fire Emblem Warriors? Like, the game's story sucks, but its music is fantastic and the gameplay's pretty fun. I wouldn't mind covering Fire Emblem Warriors at some point. And that would be fair game if I covered all the 3DS games and Shadow Dragon, because then it would bring together all the characters from that, because I only like doing things, like, in order. So wait, maybe the order should be finish off this in 3 houses, and then... But yeah, I really like Owain as well, honestly. I don't even know what the order is gonna be. It's gonna be something. The point is we're making progress, at least.
Huh?
But, so maybe finish this off, do the other 3DS titles, then maybe do Fire Emblem 1 on the Switch, and then do Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon? And then do the freaking, if there's an English patch version of like the sequel to whatever it is, New Mystery of the Emblem? Maybe? Do those? And then Fire Emblem Warriors? And then the Game Boy Advance titles? And then freaking the GameCube and Wii one of Ike's story? And then any other ones from there if I ever feel like it? I don't know. There's a lot of Fire Emblem games out there. But I do eventually plan on doing more and more Fire Emblem games on this channel because I do love the Fire Emblem series.
I've got your back.
One of these days I'll cover more and more. But like, hoo boy, it's a long road ahead. And I don't even know what the best order is gonna be. Like, it's one of those game series where it's like, okay, well, if you want to get into it, what's the best order? There isn't really a best order. But in terms of covering it on a channel, like I am on Twitch/YouTube, what is the best order for me to do this? I don't know. I can focus on one thing at a time, and right now the thing that I'm focusing on is finishing off this and 3 houses. And we're making progress for now. But yeah, generally the story of OG Mystery of the Emblem is considered better because Chris doesn't exist. Oh, there's no like Avatar character in the original, but they added it in like the sequel, so the story is considered better?
No.
Is that how I'm interpreting it? Chris is the Avatar character, right? I mean, there's a lot of titles like that that I've never played before, so I don't know as much about them.
I see.
Is the thing.
Sorry.
I don't know a whole lot about those. So I mean... Well, are there any other support conversations? Okay, we're done with support conversations for now. We are done with those. So now I believe is the mission where we recruit Anna? I believe. Side story 4. This should be, right? Yep. For sure.